On children questions and answers. Question 1. And a woman who held a babe against her bosom said, "Speak to us of children." And he said, here he refers to A. her child, B. the prophet, C. the poet. Answer B. the prophet. Question 2. Your children are not your children means A. they do not belong to their parents only. B. the children should have their own space. C. parents should not be possessive of their children. Answer C. parents should not be possessive of their children. Question 3. They come through you, but are not from you means A. though parents give birth to their children, they do not own them. B. children have independent personalities. C. parents should be indifferent to their children. Answer B. children have independent personalities. Question 4. According to the prophet, what may be given to the children? Answer according to the prophet, only our love may be given to the children. Question 5. Their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow means A. children belong to the future. B. parents cannot shape their children's future. C. children have a different vision of life. Answer A. children belong to the future. Question 6. The bows and living arrows refer to an answer, parents and children. Question 7. For even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. Discuss the contrast between the underlined words. Answer. The prophet says that the word flies signifies future. He tells parents not to worry about their children's future because it is in the hands of God. The word stable means the parents who have already achieved their goals by the help of God. In the same way, the children will also in time achieve theirs. So the prophet tells the parents not to be overpossessive towards their children. Question 8. The prophet says your children are not your children, then whose children are referred to? A. God. B. neighbors. C. parents. Answer A. God. On children comprehension 2. Question 1. Why does the prophet categorically state your children are not your children? Answer. The poet categorically states that the children are not your children because after coming out of the mother's womb, the child has its own individuality. It never addicts to the likes of its parents. Though parents only give love and affection, it does its profession according to their own wish. After getting a profession, he marries and settles according to its own likes. Though the child born through parents, they could not take care always of God. Children always play role in according to God. Question 2. What do the metaphor, bows and arrows signify with regard to the parent-children relationship? Answer. The bows and arrows signify the parents and children. Here bow refers to parents and arrows refer to children. God uses parents as bows to bring children into the world. God uses bow-eye parents to shoot arrows at the target. The arrow does not go according to the force of the bow but as per the who handles the bow, that is God. So, God only directs the arrow, children, according to his wishes. Shakespeare's quote justifies the above lines, as he says life is nothing but drama and us merely the actors. Question 3. According to the prophet, what attitude should parents have towards their children? Answer. The prophet says that the parents are too possessive towards children and he asks them not to be so possessive in their children's affairs. They should be left free and nurtured according to their own dreams and desires. Parents should understand that they are not the only well-wishers of their children. Almighty God is there who created them. If the children are pampered too much, they would be spoiled by parents themselves. It is better to take the example of bonsai tree which is given too much care but never grow big, and it can never give shade. But a tree which grows in the sun and wind and exposed to rain grows wide and tall and gives shade to a lot of people. Hence, children should be allowed to grow freely and then they live according to their own wish and help others. On Children Comprehension 3. Question 1. In this poem, parents could stand as a metaphor for A. The older generation, B. Leaders, C. Religious heads, D. Teachers. Answer A. The older generation. Question 2. In light of the poem, think of different levels of freedom children must have in shaping their lives. Answer. The future of a child is not in the hands of parents but in the hands of children themselves. When a child is left free, it makes its own choice and decision, and according to that, it works on and it could create wonders. If the parents force them to go according to their own choice, children may lag behind and there is a chance of failure. When children are left free, they think in a creative manner that helps our nation, and there may be a chance to invent new things for the world. So, parents should understand the children's interest and encourage them accordingly. This helps the children a lot in achieving their goals. Parents should be friends to their children in understanding them instead of forcing them to go in some other way which is not to their liking. Question 3. The poem does not focus merely on the lives of children but also talks about the responsibility of parents. Discuss. Answer. The poem is very relevant in the present society as parents are too possessive in shaping their children's goals. The poem is extracted from the work The Prophet written by Kahlil Gibran. The poem is also translated into Kannada by Dr. Prabhushankar. It is in the mode of conversation as a mother asks the Prophet to speak about children. When the Prophet tells that parents should not treat the children as their own because God is the original creator of children and parents are mere actors who act on the wish of God. Parents are the medium to continue the creation on earth. Though the children are born through their parents, they have their own individualities, desires, passions, and likings. He says that though the children live with us, they do not belong to us. Parents can give their love and affection but not their thoughts, as children would have their own thoughts and ideas. The Prophet clearly states that parents can only nourish the body but not their soul, minds, and hearts. The children's future could not be met by parents even in their dreams. The poet tries to bring out the generation gap which is universal. Whatever the parents do, that becomes old, but whatever the children do, that becomes new. He also says that life never goes back to the past. It always moves forward into the future. Then the Prophet draws the metaphor of bows and arrows to compare parents to bows and children to arrows. God is merely an archer who handles both the bow and the arrows. Here God uses parents for the sake of creation of the future generations. God never discriminates as he loves bows, that is parents, and arrows, that is children, equally. In this way, the Prophet advises parents not to be possessive but to allow freedom while shaping their children's lives. On Children, additional questions and answers. Question 1. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might that his arrows may go swift and far. Here archer refers to A. Parents, B. Children, C. God. Answer C. God. Question 2. What does the poet mean by "for life goes not backward nor tarries with yesterday"? Answer. Here the poet means life never goes back and never stops to think on the past. Question 3. For souls dwell in the house of tomorrow. Here the phrase house of tomorrow refers to A. Hell, B. Heaven, C. Future. Answer C. Future. On Children, summary in English. Kahlil Gibran. The poem is very relevant in the present society as parents are too possessive in shaping their children's goals. The poem is extracted from the work The Prophet written by Kahlil Gibran. The poem is also translated into Kannada by Dr. Prabhushankar. It is in the mode of conversation as a mother asks the prophet to speak about children. When the prophet tells that parents should not treat the children as their own because God is the original creator of children and parents are merely actors who act on the wish of God. Parents are the medium to continue the creation on earth. Though the children are born through their parents, they have their own individualities, desires, passions, and likings. He says that though the children live with us, they do not belong to us. Parents can give their love and affection but not their thoughts, as children would have their own thoughts and ideas. The prophet clearly states that parents can only nourish the body but not their soul, minds and hearts. The children's future could not be met by parents even in their dreams. The poet tries to bring out the generation gap which is universal. Whatever the parents do, that becomes old, but whatever the children do, that becomes new. He also says that life never goes back to the past. It always moves forward into the future. Then the prophet draws metaphor of bows and arrows to compare parents to bows and children to arrows. God is merely an archer who handles both the bow and the arrows. Here God uses parents for the sake of creation of the future generations. God never discriminates, as He loves bows, that is parents, and arrows, that is children, equally.